If you look in the mirror and see a hard, protruding belly, you are not looking at normal fat. You are looking at a living, breathing organ that is actively fighting against you. Visceral fat is biologically distinct from the soft fat on your arms or legs. It is a metabolically aggressive tissue. It wraps around your liver, your pancreas, and your intestines, hijacking your blood supply. Most people try to starve this tissue. They cut calories, they skip meals, they run on treadmills. But biologically, you cannot starve visceral fat if your internal chemistry is signaling danger. When you starve a stressed body, it holds on to the midsection even tighter as a survival reserve. The fastest way to shrink this tissue is not to eat less, it is to eat more of specific compounds that flip the chemical switches from storage to oxidation. There are 5 specific foods that act as medicinal tools. They do not just provide calories, they provide code. They contain molecules that lower cortisol, unclog the liver, and sensitize your cells to insulin. Today, we are going to build the visceral fat elimination protocol. We will decode the science of adenopectin, the hormone that tells fat cells to self-destruct. We will look at the specific fiber that acts as a glucose sponge, and we will reveal the one mineral deficiency that keeps your nervous system locked in fight-or-flight mode, preventing deep sleep and fat loss. Stay with me, because food number 5 changes a hormone most doctors never test. It contains a compound that activates the same fat-burning signal your body uses during a 16-hour fast without you skipping a single meal. This is bioengineering, not dieting. Let's begin with the first layer of the problem: inflammation. Food number 1, the inflammation fire extinguisher. Visceral fat is inflamed fat. It releases cytokines like IL-6 that make your body resistant to insulin. As long as you are inflamed, your fat cells are locked. To open them, we need to flood the body with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. The food you must eat is fatty fish, sardines, salmon, mackerel, or anchovies. We are not eating this just for protein. We are eating it for a hormone called adiponectin. Adiponectin is the skinny hormone. In people with low visceral fat, adiponectin is high. In people with belly fat, adiponectin is critically low. Studies show that increasing your intake of omega-3s directly stimulates the production of adiponectin. When adiponectin rises, it travels to your muscles and liver, telling them to burn fatty acids for fuel instead of glucose. But there is a catch. You cannot just take a fish oil pill and expect miracles if your diet is full of inflammatory seed oils. You need the whole food matrix. The protocol is to consume 1 serving of fatty fish at least 3 to 4 times a week, or, for the best results, a small portion daily. This physically changes the composition of your cell membranes, making them fluid and receptive to insulin. However, even if you lower inflammation, you cannot burn fat if your filter is clogged. This leads us to the second requirement. Food number 2, the liver scrubber. All visceral fat must be processed through the liver to be burned. If your liver is congested with its own fat, a condition called steatosis, the exit door is blocked. To unclog the liver, we need a sulfur-based compound called sulforaphane. The food you need is cruciferous vegetables, specifically broccoli sprouts, arugula, or kale. Sulforaphane flips something called the NRF2 switch, and if that switch is off, your liver cannot burn fat efficiently. Think of NRF2 as the master switch for antioxidant defense. When you eat these bitter greens, the sulfur compounds signal the liver to ramp up its phase 2 detoxification enzymes. These enzymes strip toxins and excess fat from the liver cells and package them for export. Furthermore, cruciferous vegetables contain DIM. This molecule helps the body metabolize excess estrogen. Why does this matter for belly fat? Because bad estrogen metabolites promote weight gain in the midsection and hips. By helping the liver clear these hormones, you stop the hormonal signal that tells the body to store fat. But here is the problem. You can clean the liver and lower inflammation, but if your nervous system is screaming danger, your body will simply refill the fat stores. You need a chemical break for your stress. Food number 3, the cortisol break. High cortisol is the primary architect of the hard belly. It mobilizes sugar into the blood, and then insulin stores it in the abdomen. To stop this, we need the mineral that acts as the off switch for the adrenal glands, magnesium. The food source is pumpkin seeds, also known as pepitas. Pumpkin seeds are one of the most concentrated natural sources of magnesium on the planet. Magnesium binds to GABA receptors in the brain. GABA is the neurotransmitter of calm. Without sufficient magnesium, your brain remains in a state of low-level anxiety, keeping cortisol trickling into your system 24 hours a day. When you eat a handful of pumpkin seeds, about a quarter cup, you provide the raw material to dampen the stress response. But I want to pause here and ask for some data from you. Cortisol and magnesium deficiency often manifest as specific cravings. Here is the question. When you get stressed or tired, what is your go-to craving? Is it salty, like chips, or sweet, like chocolate? Drop it in the comments. Team salty or team sweet? Team salty often indicates adrenal fatigue and a need for minerals. Team sweet often indicates an insulin or dopamine issue. Knowing your type helps you adjust the protocol. If you are team salty, pumpkin seeds are your medicine. However, lowering cortisol is not enough if your blood sugar is on a roller coaster. We need a physical barrier in the gut. Food number 4, the metabolic sponge. We need to physically slow down the absorption of your meals to prevent the insulin spikes that lock fat in place. The food is chia seeds or ground flax seeds. These seeds contain a specific type of viscous soluble fiber. When they mix with water in your stomach, they expand and form a thick gel. This gel coats the lining of the small intestine. It acts as a physical barrier. When you eat carbohydrates alongside these seeds, the glucose cannot rush into your bloodstream. It has to fight through the gel. This flattens your glucose curve. But the magic happens when this fiber reaches your colon. Your gut bacteria ferment this fiber and produce short-chain fatty acids, specifically butyrate. Butyrate is a signaling molecule. It travels to the brain and triggers satiety. It travels to the liver and improves insulin sensitivity. It tells your mitochondria to become more efficient. The protocol is simple. 2 tablespoons of chia or flax in water or yogurt once a day. This is your insurance policy against insulin resistance. Now we have lowered inflammation, cleaned the liver, calmed the adrenals, and slowed digestion. But there is one final piece, the accelerator. Food number 5, the thermogenic fat burner. This is not something you chew, it is something you consume as a functional food. It is avocado. You might think avocado is just healthy fat, but biochemically, it is a tool to fix the potassium-sodium pump. We talked about magnesium for stress, but potassium is the mineral that dictates insulin sensitivity inside the cell. Most people are critically deficient in potassium because they don't eat enough plants. An avocado has more potassium than a banana, without the sugar. When your potassium is low, Your cells cannot pull glucose out of the blood efficiently. The pancreas has to pump more insulin to compensate. High insulin equals belly fat. By eating half an avocado a day, you flood your cells with potassium. This lowers the requirement for insulin. But there's a secondary benefit. Avocados are rich in oleic acid. This specific fatty acid triggers the release of a hormone called OEA, or oleoellathanolamide, in the small intestine. OEA sends a direct, hardwired signal to the brain to stop eating and to increase fat oxidation. It activates the same fat-burning signal your body uses during a 16-hour fast without you skipping a single meal. So, when you eat an avocado, you are mechanically telling your body that it is full, while simultaneously fixing the cellular pump that controls insulin. You don't need to eat these foods in isolation. The power comes from stacking them. Imagine a lunch that looks like this: a fillet of salmon for adiponectin, on a bed of arugula and broccoli sprouts for liver detox, sprinkled with pumpkin seeds for cortisol control, dressed with chia oil or seeds for the fiber matrix, and a side of avocado for potassium and satiety. This is not just a salad. This is a biochemical intervention. Every bite of this meal sends a signal of safety and efficiency to your body. You are lowering inflammation. You are calming the nervous system. You are opening the detox pathways. Visceral fat is not a character flaw. It is a symptom of a body that is inflamed, stressed, and insulin resistant. You cannot fight this biology with willpower. You have to fight it with chemistry. Fatty fish to raise adiponectin, cruciferous veggies to flush the liver, pumpkin seeds to dampen cortisol, chia and flax to sponge up glucose, avocado to restore potassium and insulin sensitivity. Stop trying to subtract food. Start adding the right data. Your body is not broken. It is responding to signals. Change the signals, and the fat has no choice but to leave. It is time to stop starving and start signaling.
Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to upgrade your morning coffee to rebuild muscle after 60.
You probably think coffee is just a harmless pick-me-up, but honestly, it might be draining your strength. Here's the scary part. After 60, we can lose up to 8% of our muscle mass every decade.
But wait, by adding the right natural ingredients, your daily brew becomes a powerful muscle rebuilding engine. Check out this rapid-fire combo: cinnamon, cocoa, and MCT oil. They instantly unlock circulation, energy, and stable blood sugar. These aren't just theories. Folks like John, Evelyn, and Harold saw massive real-world results in their daily energy.
Now this is crucial. Swap those destructive, sugary creamers for complete proteins that actively repair your fading joints.
Adding simple milk and collagen powder gives your body the raw structural amino acids it desperately craves.
For 70-year-old Robert, that collagen wasn't just some supplement. It literally restored his physical freedom in the garden. The real enemy here is anabolic resistance. Your aging body struggles to build muscle from normal protein amounts. To beat it, you need highly concentrated, quality protein. Whey protein literally sparks a massive 38% muscle increase. Take Helen, who's 67. She just stirred unflavored whey into her cup, regaining firm arms and super steady legs. Next, ground chia seeds. They're a game changer that directly tackles belly fat, inflammation, and that stubborn muscle decline. Just 1 teaspoon transformed 70-year-old George. Slimmer waist, better digestion, and it totally erased his stiff mornings.
Now for the ultimate defender. This specific ingredient literally slashes the hidden thief of all your strength: inflammation.
We're talking about turmeric. It contains curcumin, an amazing protector, but your body struggles to absorb it alone. Here's the trick. Add a tiny pinch of black pepper, and boom, a 2,000% spike in absorption. This golden duo is magic. It completely eliminated 73-year-old Satoshi's debilitating joint pain and crushed his inflammation. So what's the big takeaway? Aging absolutely does not have to mean getting weaker. You can fight back. which of these powerful ingredients will you stir in tomorrow morning? The choice to rebuild your future is yours.
Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to upgrade your morning coffee to rebuild muscle after 60.
You probably think coffee is just a harmless pick-me-up, but honestly, it might be draining your strength. Here's the scary part. After 60, we can lose up to 8% of our muscle mass every decade.
But wait, by adding the right natural ingredients, your daily brew becomes a powerful muscle rebuilding engine.
Check out this rapid-fire combo: cinnamon, cocoa, and MCT oil. They instantly unlock circulation, energy, and stable blood sugar.
These aren't just theories. Folks like John, Evelyn, and Harold saw massive real-world results in their daily energy.
Now this is crucial. Swap those destructive, sugary creamers for complete proteins that actively repair your fading joints.
Adding simple milk and collagen powder gives your body the raw structural amino acids it desperately craves.
For 70-year-old Robert, that collagen wasn't just some supplement. It literally restored his physical freedom in the garden.
The real enemy here is anabolic resistance. Your aging body struggles to build muscle from normal protein amounts.
To beat it, you need highly concentrated, quality protein. Whey protein literally sparks a massive 38% muscle increase.
Take Helen, who's 67.